Happy Halloween from Cronkite Sports Now. We've got a monster of a show in store with all the tricks, treats, and top sports stories. Today on Cronkite Sports Now, the Nats and former D-backs win the series. A freshman on the volleyball court playing above her grade, and the spookiest stories in Arizona sports history. These stories and more coming your way on Cronkite Sports Now. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm your ghost, Brady King, and I am hyped up on candy and ready to talk sports. First things first, did the D-backs dress up as the Nats last night in the spirit of Halloween? Well, no. But the Nats won their first title thanks to a few former D-backs, winning Game 7 6-2 over the Astros. The game featured 5 former D-backs on the mound, and every out recorded by Washington was a former Snake. Another former D-back, Adam Eaton, had 2 RBIs in the win. Former D-backs Zach Greinke and Max Scherzer started on the mound for the Astros and Nats, but it was ex-Snake Patrick Corbin who got the World Series win with 3 strikeouts and no runs allowed in 3 crucial innings. Nationals ace Steven Strasburg won the series MVP award after 2 road wins, 14 strikeouts, and just 4 runs allowed. Daniel Hudson sealed the deal with a strikeout to close it out. They say there's no crying in baseball, but the World Series might be the exception. The Nats cheered and shed some tears, realizing they will take the trophy back to Washington, D.C. for the first time in history. Arizona sports fans might want to say, "You're welcome." But for now, we'll just say, congrats, Nats. Moving from past to present, D-backs named Matt Hergis as their new pitching coach. Hergis will be the first person to both play and be the pitching coach for the D-backs. The Suns offense looked scary good from the get-go in last night's win over the Warriors 121-110. The Suns were up by 29 after the opening quarter, which is the largest lead at the end of a first quarter in Suns history. Booker and Baines led the way, combining for 55 of the team's total points. Adding to Baines' monster stat line, he had 12 rebounds and 3 blocked shots. If this loss doesn't sting quite enough for Golden State, Steph Curry left the game with a broken hand and joins teammate Klay Thompson on the rehab train. Now let's stay on the same court, but look at a different sport. As the only freshman to start the season on her varsity volleyball team, Horizon Honors' Alyssa Geyer certainly doesn't play like one on the court. Cronkite News reporter Millard Thomas has more.
She actually exceeded my expectations, right off the bat.
Alyssa Geyer has been turning heads since the first day she stepped on the court. Geyer is currently top 5 in assists for all volleyball players in Arizona's 3A division and first among freshmen, according to Max Preps. Not only does she have the talent, but also the work ethic to match.
She hustles hard, One of our team philosophies is hustle inspires hustle, so she really does go 110% every single time, which inspires our team to do the same.
She's super aggressive. She's more of a off the court. She's very nice and isn't really that loud, but definitely when she gets on the court, she's super aggressive and she plays like an experienced player.
Geyer's experience with volleyball goes all the way back to the 5th grade. Volleyball is a sport she didn't know she had a passion for until her parents encouraged her to try new activities.
They wanted me to branch out and try a bunch of different sports because none of them had really clicked. And then I ended up really liking it.
Despite making the leap from middle school to varsity, their transition has been smooth thanks to her teammates and coaches. Their support have instilled confidence in her as she faces tougher and older competition.
They keep me up. I get very mental, so it helps when they just say, "Hey, you're doing all right." And they pulled me aside and "Hey, you're doing good. Maybe try this, maybe try this." And it's just those one-on-one conversations that really help me.
We have a lot of seniors on our team, and they kind of took her under their wing and kind of showed them what being a Horizon Honors Eagle is all about. So I think she's transitioned really well into that.
With a head start on varsity, Geyer is only scratching the surface into what her potential can be as she leads Horizon Honors for years to come. In Phoenix, Millard Thomas, Cronkite News.
If Geyer keeps this pace up, she has a chance to be the only freshman to finish top 10 in assists in her division, all before receiving her driver's license. Wow. While you're juggling the trick-or-treaters tonight, tune in to watch the Arizona Cardinals take on the undefeated San Francisco 49ers at home on Halloween Night Football. While the Cards can't guarantee a win, those in attendance are sure to enjoy some spooky stadium events. The Cards and the Niners are banged up on a short week as key players on both sides deal with injuries. With Chase Edmonds out and David Johnson questionable to play, newly acquired running back Kenyon Drake will look to turn carries into touchdown treats tonight. Kickoff from State Farm Stadium is set for 5:20. Keep an eye out for both teams' special Halloween color rush uniforms. Let's hope the Niners front seven doesn't scare off the Birds tonight at home. Speaking of scary, Scotty Gange brings us some of the most frightening moments in Arizona sports history.
Happy Halloween! Sometimes it's not always happy. Sometimes it reminds us of demons, gives us terrible, awful nightmares. And for us here in Arizona, there are 4 specific pumpkins of pain that reminds us of the worst times and the most haunted times to be an AZ sports fan. In 1997, Robert Horry was a Sun, and he literally threw in the towel at head coach Danny Ainge's face. Yeah, he was gone. The Suns traded him to the Lakers. He won 3 titles. Then he went to the Spurs. He won 2 more. And then just to carve our hearts out one more time, he hip-checked Steve Nash into the scorer's table in the 2007 Western Conference semifinals. The bench is cleared. Nobody touches Nash. David Stern comes in and suspends Boris Diaw and Amari Stoudemire for Game 5. Spurs win in 6 and take the title. Let's fast forward to 2013. The Dodgers clinched the NL West. And for some ridiculous reason, the Dodgers swim and dive team thought it would be just hilarious to jump in the pool at Chase Field. Outfielder Yasiel Puig then thought it would be okay to supposedly heat up the pool. He did what? Yeah, I'm serious. Oh, disgusting. Imagine this. It's 1996. ASU football is 11-0 on a dream season. Number 2 in the country, going for it all at the Rose Bowl. The granddaddy of them all. And then here comes some guy named Joe Germain, a kid out of Mountain View High School. And then he went to Scottsdale Community College. And then he decides to leave us, go to Ohio State. What a traitor. ASU is on top, 20-17, under 2 minutes to go. And here comes Joe. And he drives 65 yards down the field to win the game 23-20. And Joe Germain is a Rose Bowl champion. And ASU fans wave goodbye to their hopes of a national championship. It's February 2009, Super Bowl 43. The Cardinals are going to win. They lead 23-20 with 2.5 remaining. Larry Fitzgerald, huge touchdown, give him the MVP. And then some guy named Santonio Holmes comes into the game and catches a touchdown pass in the back corner of the end zone. Cardinals Super Bowl run, done. Yes, the past has had its spooky moments for Arizona sports fans, but on this day, the scariest day on the calendar, always remember to enjoy the sweet moments when they come your way. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Good stuff. That's it for this eerie edition of Cronkite Sports Now. For Arizona sports stories from around the valley, visit the Cronkite Sports tab on arizonasports.com. And as always, for top Arizona news stories, head over to our website at cronkitenews.azpbs.org. And be sure to tune in to tonight's newscast at 5 p.m. on Arizona PBS. On behalf of the entire Cronkite Sports Now crew, thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe tonight, and we'll be back here tomorrow to kick off November.